we started getting more and more declined offers. We managed to go ahead and kind of spin everything around and create a 7-figure studio, which is successful. I really wish that our job was as easy as prompting ChatGPT to write us a full landing page in like seconds and then using that for our designs. But unfortunately, AI doesn't understand how people think. Even people don't understand each other. In this video, I'll showcase you our exact process of how we kind of wrote copy for our first Flow venture, Authority Gorilla. Welcome to the third episode of Build to Grow. In this episode, we're going to be talking a lot more about copywriting, how you should position your copy, and in general, how to make sure that you create a copy that actually sells, but it's also pretty fun. In the last episodes, we covered positioning and pricing, so let's jump to the third topic that we have on our list. The first thing is identifying who's going to be the persona who's actually going to be visiting the website. Because like in our case, we're targeting Webflow SEO. And like in that case, we're usually going to be targeting people who are already on Webflow. Basically, they understand the platform. We don't have to understand it. We can have in the copy kind of saying Webflow because usually everybody's gonna know, and like our target audience is people who know what is Webflow and they want to have Webflow SEO. And on the other side, we already covered with our name a little bit, like with Authority Gorilla, that we want to give them more authority for their website, and additionally we're going to be providing kind of SEO and all of those services. Based off of that, like usually that's going to be like in our case maybe VP of marketing or maybe VP of sales or maybe even creative director or even a CEO or something like that. So those are going to be our personas. They're usually going to be highly technical. So based off of that, we know the way we're going to be writing the copy for our landing page. Then it's going to be time to research the competition. As we showcased a little bit of competition in our first episode of Build to Grow, you can find it here, which covers basically the positioning. I'm not gonna go over who's our competitors and kind of what they do, but on our side, some of the USPs that we're gonna be kind of mentioning a lot are one package, just because we're building a product, a service. Then we have been doing this for a while, like on the Webflow agency side. So we have a Flow Ninja studio that has been running kind of for years now, and like we've worked with kind of top enterprises on that front. And additionally, one of our main lead sources is SEO. So we can guarantee that with our services that we felt everything on our skin, like on our Flow Ninja studio, and only then we're going to be delivering everything to customers. And then the third part that we added to our copy was a guarantee. The guarantee is going to come from one side with a team who's coming from it, and then the other side is going to be the money back guarantee, because we've seen that most of the SEO companies don't guarantee anything. They just guarantee that they're going to be delivering something without any guarantees. And sometimes we might be able to fail, but we're going to be refunding the customer. So with copy, like, and having these three core principles of a package model, like that, where everything is in one, which is transparent and like always upfront, having the credibility from our studio, and also feeling everything on our own skin. So we've done it for us. We're not testing anything on the client side. And then the final part is going to be the guarantee that we're giving in terms of kind of the money back guarantee, that we are confident that we're going to be delivering a good service, that like we're fully confident in giving a money back guarantee. After understanding the core principles of our competition, our USPs, and kind of who are we talking to, then we usually like to go ahead and write a copy directly fully from our side. I do really think that prompting ChatGPT to write you copy is not going to be the greatest asset out there. That's why I usually go ahead and write a copy first fully by hand and just kind of don't use any tools or anything. I just try to explain the service in my words. Sometimes it's gonna be pretty technical. That's where ChatGPT is gonna be coming on a later stage. But the first part is, okay, let me try to explain this in plain words from me and see how does that look like in the end. And that structure usually consists of a few different sections. We have the hero, we have the problem, we have maybe the process of how we're gonna be solving the problem, we have the solution, which we're giving for that, then we have the credibility, and the final thing can be a call to action. Additionally, with our discovery process, which we're going to be listing down below, you're also going to be having a way to understand how you're going to be capturing the leads, how you're going to be nurturing the leads, and then how you're going to be converting. Just the part you're trying to explain on the whole website, kind of why, what, how, setting some of the smart goals on the page, etc., etc. But more on that on the free link down below. But on the other side, we can go ahead and see kind of how we've done this kind of for Authority Gorilla. So you can see for the hero, usually you can place the customer to be in the hero and showcase how they're going to be winning. But in our case, as we're super specific with the target audience that we're targeting, their hero is somebody who does the Webflow SEO and like content. So based off of that, that's why we decided to put that here. Sometimes companies make mistakes of putting like themselves in the hero and like writing their features. You should be more focused on the client and what they're searching. In our case, they're searching for Webflow SEO and content experts. And we're also adding a flat monthly fee because like they're just going to be paying out flat monthly fee in the end. Then we're having a problem. So usually, like when you do have a company or an agency or anything like that, you're gonna have a problem which people are facing. In this case, problem is that ranking on Google can be pretty hard. You're gonna need to hire a lot of people, you're gonna need to juggle a lot of people, a lot of freelancers. Some of them are not gonna be good, etc., etc. So because of that, we wanted to showcase the process of kind of how you would create content and create authority and basically rank on Google and get SEO conversions and visitors in the normal process. Or you can choose Authority Gorilla like as an example to go ahead and kind of solve all those problems. For any business or any project you're doing, you can always have this on your mind. Okay, let me introduce a problem and try to find a way on how I can solve the problem itself through the page so that it makes more sense for readers who are reading the content itself. Afterwards, we wanted to go ahead and showcase the guide. So in this solution, how am I gonna be solving that? Just because we introduced, okay, Authority Gorilla is this, so it's something really great, but how am I gonna get there? That's where we added fill in the questionnaire, all consultations get to work, get the SEO audit plus content strategy, and then in the end, we implement the strategy itself. So based off of that, it's a pretty simple process. People understand, okay, they are guaranteed this. This is how we are going to be getting to that point. After that, it's usually up to a point of who are you to actually guarantee all of that. In our case, we're kind of fully transparent in giving our own Flow Ninja website and kind of giving the data from our Flow Ninja website and our Google Search Console here. And that based off of that, we can showcase, okay, we've done this for our core studio, like our core business, Flow Ninja Studio. We've done like everything here, and like we've been doing it for years now, and it's basically driving us growth. And on the other side, we're also adding our team and kind of who's actually behind the project and adding some incredible consultants along the way. And then after that, it's the call to action. The credibility is going to depend on the business. And I mean, every single one of these sections can span out in a million different ways. It doesn't necessarily always have to be the team. Sometimes it's going to be a testimonial. Sometimes it's going to be a case study. Sometimes it's going to be a combination of both. But in order to actually sell something, you need to have credibility. So like on project to project basis, it's going to differentiate on kind of how you're going to be showcasing that. But with time, you're probably going to understand based on the project, how do you want to kind of create a credibility section itself. Then after that, we're moving to the call to action section, where in our case, we added kind of fun pun, like ready to become king of the jungle, join your waitlist. And then based off of that, slowly building out the waitlist just because we're releasing the first version of the platform. And we want to see how much are people interested into the service itself. Just because we kind of are launching something new, something we haven't done before. And then that's like have been our thought process behind that. Afterwards, we covered the pricing in the previous section. We've actually changed this from the first version of the website itself, but just because this is a single landing page, we also added pricing just because we wanted everything to be happening on a single landing page so we can get our business out of the way as soon as possible. And then the final thing, as we mentioned on our USP, is going to be the money back guarantee. Of course, this has changed a little bit, but on that front, we also wanted to showcase our money back guarantee because we've seen that nobody else actually does it. We wanted to actually be one of the first kind of SEO studios that actually has the money back guarantee, to showcase that we're actually committed to success and that we're not there just to take your money. And then the final section in the list is going to be the FAQ. Just because there's a lot of questions that can get unanswered with a service like this, we wanted to cover everything additionally. This doesn't have any reasons to do with SEO or anything like that. Our main priority here was mostly, okay, we do have a single landing page. We cannot explain a lot of things. Let's just try to cover some of the topics we thought internally that are missing from the page and that people are usually going to be talking about or questioning us on a sales call, that based off of that, we can have it. You can see that we do have a single call to action, which is going to be join the waitlist. In our case, it's going to be kind of also scheduling a call as a quick discovery, but like more on that later on. After we've written kind of the first draft copy and we have explained everything that the business does, we're coming ahead and kind of realizing, okay, just because this is an SEO agency and like we usually look at SEO value for kind of some of the projects, then we identify, okay, what is the main keyword for this page? In our case, we've seen that you have a trending line up for us, as you can see somewhere here on Webflow SEO services, as people are searching more and more about Webflow SEO, and that's going to be our main keyword we're going to be focusing mostly on. We can go ahead and start being more and more creative into the next steps when we do write the copy itself. And then when we do have the keyword, when we do have personas, we have our positioning, our USPs, and we do have our whole copy, then we can kind of go ahead and start playing around with ChatGPT. That's where we open up ChatGPT. We write everything we've gathered. We write who are we writing for. We write our USPs, and then you can start refining section with section by also adding a keyword. So you can go ahead and write, hey, we're creating a new service-based studio called Authority Gorilla. Our mission and vision is this. Our USPs are this. We're targeting these and these customers. We want to rank for this keyword. Basically, here is the heading we've written, and then we usually have the heading that we've written. Please give us us 10 examples of this heading based off the prompts above. And then we go heading by heading, by paragraph, by heading, by paragraph, by heading, by paragraph, and then we refine it with ChatGPT. Sometimes you can write longer prompts and basically say, hey, I need this to be a lot more simpler because my audience doesn't understand this and whatever. And you're basically gonna be talking to ChatGPT like you're talking to another copywriter. You're just gonna be kind of writing everything as detailed as possible. It's gonna take time. It's not gonna take 2 minutes, but it's also gonna save you like at least a lot of time in going back and forth with a copywriter and like refining the copy on that front. Additionally, you can dig deeper and deeper and deeper. Usually, ChatGPT is going to give you 10 examples. Then I say to ChatGPT, I really like the example too. Can you give me 10 more examples? And then I basically write and write and iterate and write and iterate and write. And that's how we actually came to a copy like this. This is, of course, not our first version. This is our 110th version, like with prompting ChatGPT a lot. And that's where a lot of also the jokes came around and stuff like that. And that's done. So we have our landing page copy done. So like it's a lot more steps than actually prompting ChatGPT and like it's spitting out all the copy. But it's also a pretty interesting process. On our side internally, as we do have a specific brand tone and voice that we're talking for every single one of the companies, we always have additionally our copywriter, Mihailo, kind of go ahead and kind of proofread everything just because it's a pretty hard thing. You need to say something as few words as possible and explain it to a lot of people and explain it to a specific group of people. So even when we do go ahead and kind of have the first version, then like we kind of add keywords, then we refine everything with ChatGPT. Additionally, we have Mihailo come in and kind of clean up everything and make everything on brand and on our tone of voice. And then on the other side, that's where all the fun stuff comes in. You're gonna see here that we have content is king, SEO is queen, but your site is no monarchy and Google is a jungle. That came from us. That didn't come from ChatGPT. Sometimes it can give you some fun puns and like it can enhance your copy. But in the end, when you go through the whole process, you can sit down and have a little bit of fun with your copy. We're all humans, like we all like to kind of have some interesting experience and read something which is not usually seen anywhere. That's where you can have a little bit of fun and make your copy a little bit on the edge, depending on kind of how you position your brand and kind of how far out there you are. Of course, if you're an enterprise, you're probably not gonna go this far, but for us, it kind of goes aligned with our brand, and that's kind of how we wanted to position it. So that's it. If you have more ideas on kind of how you can write great copy, it's a pretty big term. We wanted to kind of go ahead and cover our process at Flow Ninja for writing copy for Flow Ninja, and then also for Flow Ventures and kind of specifically Authority Gorilla on a real world example. You can leave comments down below with suggestions, and like if you found this useful, you can always press the like button and subscribe and follow our Build to Grow series over the next couple of months.